Here's a little update video for those of you that might have watched the first eBay Sebenza video that I did. The finish on this is totally wrong from the real deal. It's like smooth. I haven't felt the new glass blasted Chris Reeve knives, but I imagine it's something like this. But on these, the finish isn't very rugged. You can see those marks right there. And this hasn't hardly even been carried, which is fine. I mean, that's just, superficial marks, not even scratches. It has to be in a certain light to even see it, but there's that difference. It's not slick, but it's not as grippy. The real ones are really grippy, like the actual sandblasted versions. I imagine this is a lot like the glass blasted. And then this has some sort of a ball detent on the lock bar that engages with the lock face on the blade. So the titanium's not really interfacing with the steel. I don't know if it's a ceramic ball or if it's stainless steel. It's pretty hard. You can kind of see it in there. So it's not really a 21. It's not really a 25, I don't feel like, because it doesn't look like the Nkosi handle like the 25s did. I took the lanyard pin out. It was rattling just like the real deal when I cut the lanyard off. The centering is like perfect now that I've taken it down, put it back together, which is pretty weird. I put some fluorinated grease in there. You can almost tighten the pivot down all the way, and the knife is pretty solid. You kind of have to tune it with the stop pin a little bit. So the tolerances probably aren't as perfect as the real one. Feels really good in the hand. The thumb serrations are really good. They're about identical to the real one, I would say. The knife came screaming sharp out of the box. I mean, it cuts phone book paper really well. And then I did a little bit of cutting with it yesterday. I did some cardboard. I didn't really have to cut the cardboard, but I did just because then it was still, just as sharp as it was before. And then I cut up a pineapple last night for dinner. Hopefully there wasn't any lead on this Chinese knife or something toxic, but yeah, I did wash it off first and whatnot, so. What else? I'm not sure the thumb stud is titanium. You can kind of see, maybe not. It's kind of got a different color behind it. You can just almost see it in certain lighting in person. But the anodize is pretty rugged. It's not wearing off. And I've definitely been fiddling with it quite a bit. Again, these are about $53 or whatever on eBay. Just so you can get a good look at it. The blade's real thick. Everything's nice. I just wish they wouldn't put the Chris Reeve logos on there. They ought to just make their own version. I mean, the only reason you'd want the logos on there is if you're going to try and rip somebody off saying it was a real one. And that's completely wrong, trying to overcharge. I mean, there's ways you can tell it looks different than the real one, but a lot of people can't tell, and they're making those fake Spydercos and putting them on there, and those I really can't tell the difference. I'm not as big into Spydercos as I used to be. The clip's not perfectly flush there. I don't know if that's, the real ones do that or not. I kind of have a nice tight hydraulic blade tension on there. kind of use both studs to get it out. It's not really a defensive knife. You're not going to get any of these Chris Reeves out of your pocket very fast. I mean, you can loosen this up, and it's got some blade play. I don't remember how my regular Sebenzas used to have for blade play. I mean, this is kind of like a Strider SMF or something. They all have a little bit of wiggle. And this one has just a hair touch of that too. And it gets more if you loosen it up, obviously. But my Encosi that I have, it has no play at all. That thing is like bank vault solid. But again, that's a $450 knife for what reason? I see a little glint in the heel of the Tanto there. I don't know if it came like that or what. I haven't had too many Tantos in the past. I had a couple cheap ones, Cold Steel, G-High Tanto, and those are wicked good knives for the price. I think I paid like $18 for mine back in the day. Beat the hell out of it. I mean, cheap knives can be so good. They really can. I mean, it depends on what you want to do with the knife. Like, I get why people pay the Chris Reeve price. I do. But this is pretty damn close for 53 bucks. And I mean, I love my Bussy Combat and other knives, but when you can get a GI Tanto and you don't have a whole lot of money, I mean, if you're not going out in the woods on the regular and that's not your main forte, playing in the woods and beating stuff up, and you're not necessarily a knife guy, I mean, why buy an expensive knife just to do the task when cheap knives will do it for you? So there's a couple minutes on this one. This thing sticks out too. I don't know if that's a dead giveaway for a fake or not. The hardware, there's a bunch of dead giveaways on it. I mean, the blade, usually the cut on the blade there starts around where the end of the bolster is, so that's kind of a giveaway. And some of them have kind of a cutout here, like a U shape on the blade, and this one's looks more real. The the Ricasso or whatever there on a folder. So these are pretty good. Like I say, all of them on eBay, they might be made by different shops or something, or at a different period, I don't know. But there's a quick look.